Well, hello there, guys. Welcome back to some more to End All Wars. I want to thank everybody for being so patient. I know that these episodes don't come very regularly. I try to do my best, but, this is definitely a series where we get limited views. I'm going to leave the playlist down below to hopefully get some more views, but you guys didn't know what's going on. Those of you that have been watching the series, those of you that haven't, you should definitely check out the playlist. In the meantime, guys, a lot of different things have happened. You guys can see that all over the map there is snow, and quite frankly, this entire area is basically not a very good place to fight right now. That's why I've been actually, the last turn and this turn, I haven't really been attacking. I've been trying to remain as defensive as possible. Of course, that has its limitations. Let's go ahead and build a depot over here in French territory. And as you can see, we've gotten away from the Antwerp forts. We had a lot of different suggestions as to what to do here with the Antwerp forts. I liked quite a lot of them, and basically the suggestion is we wait outside for a bit, let that army get out of there, and then hit them as hard as we can. We've also got to deal with the British Expeditionary Forces over here, and that's not going to be easy. The one thing we do have working for us over here on the Western Front, besides the fact that we've taken territory, is, of course, Karl von Bülow. I'm going to see, and I don't know if this is possible, but I'm going to take Karl von Bülow, guys, and I'm going to try to smash northwards to try to cut off this rail line, and hopefully, that's not the way I want to go. Hopefully by doing this, 35 days just to get there. Oh, man, well, you know what? Maybe that is the way I want to go. 48 days. What about with a train? But basically, by doing this, I'm hoping we can shorten the amount of time it's going to take Antwerp, if we take it at all. As for the rest of the guys on the line, like von Hausen, who, by the way, is doing great. He needs some reinforcements, as a matter of fact. I could actually send Max von Bonn over there to von Hausen to assist. So actually, I'm going to do that. I'm at Luxembourg, but I guess we're not at war with Luxembourg for whatever reason. We can actually go ahead and declare war on them, which I think is probably what we're going to do. Let's see what happens. I'm actually going to jump to the war screen and see if I can't declare war on Luxembourg. Let's see. Actually, they're very close to aligning with us. 12% with the rebels. Interesting. Okay, well, maybe, just maybe, we can get them on our side. They are neutral. Well, you know what? I'm thinking more territory for us is a good thing. So let's go ahead and maybe declare war on old Luxembourg. There we go, guys. I don't know how long it's going to take for the decision to actually go through, but I think it's the right one to make. Even though they are pretty much almost in support of us, it's a tiny country. I'd rather just pillage them, take everything they have, and do things that way. Yeah, not the nicest thing to do, but this isn't about niceness. This is about accomplishing the correct task. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Got some more things we could use. We finally got that gas. We used it last turn. We could certainly use it this turn. Go ahead and take a look here. And I think, I think I might want to use it on the Russian front. So let's head over to the Russian front. That's, of course, the area where the Russians are really breaking through, doing a ton of damage to us. As you can see right here, look at how many men they have. We've got to do something about this. I think right now we'll just kind of try and work out a plan, but I don't think there's really a plan at all for this. I mean, we just need to beat these guys. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to stay put, but once again, that chlorine gas is definitely a possibility. Let's go ahead and dump it in. Why not? We'll dump it in over here. Hopefully we get some kills from it. And maybe a munitions factory. And this would produce 5 ammunition each turn. So I think actually putting it over here would be a good thing. We're also moving this army forward, hopefully to make contact with one of the Russians. And as far as East Prussia, we're doing pretty damn good. If we go over to East Prussia, sorry, let me get out of the screen. You can see obviously that we've got the famous, you guys should know this from German history, Paul von Hindenburg. Beer Hall Putsch is what you want to be thinking. And he's in Königsberg refilling his stocks. But I think he's ready to go out and attack again. And considering that the Russians are really pushing deeply into our territory, I think we should try and finally push back and take Kovno. So we're actually going to go to Kovno on an attack formation with Karl von Bülow. It is craziness, it is madness, but that's part of this game, is going to be craziness and madness. It's just that simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We could also take some of these airships, start transporting them to the front. I see no reason why they shouldn't be able to assist us here. So I'm actually going to send one this way. And yes, even with airships, you got to transport them by train first. So we're going to do that. Let's jump over to the Serbian front. And we definitely need some suggestions, guys, in terms of what to do with the damn Russians. That is crazy. Hopefully we can try to get the revolution started early in Russia so that we can have some chaos going on that will benefit us, of course. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the Serbian area. So we are definitely, without a doubt, besieging Belgrade. I'm going to go ahead. Let's take a look. 24% penalty. We don't want that. Well, we're going to deal with it for now. So for now, Belgrade is under control of the enemy. We're besieging it. I'm going to see if there's anything we can do to make the siege go a little faster. Bombing fortifications would be one thing, but it doesn't look like we can, although a Zeppelin raid. Interesting. I think what we're going to try to do is see if we can get a Zeppelin raid once we get that Zeppelin over there to the Western Front. I doubt we have any right now that can be used, but we should definitely take a look. So let's take a look at the Zeppelin raid thing here and see if there's anything we can do. No, I think we're going to have to wait until that Zeppelin actually gets to the front. Still, that's cool. As for Belgium, Belgium is under our control, but we still haven't taken Antwerp, so we're just going to hold on here. That's really all we can do at this point. I will take a look and see if we can possibly get some reinforcements. That would definitely help. So let's go to Germany. And remember, we're not the only one that needs reinforcements. Austria is very badly off during this war. And right now the Russians are breaking through their lands. We've got to do something for them too. But I'm thinking that maybe we can do some sort of political maneuver to help them out. So this would give us power towards aviation research. Again, it's kind of cool, but I'm not too concerned. I am going to fund artillery research. We've already funded gas research, and so hopefully that's going to help us in a little bit. And now I'm going to jump over here and try and maybe get some men for the Austrians. You can see they really desperately need men, but unfortunately I think there's no way to get them reinforcements. We really might have to send the Austrians some Germans. Not sure who. We do have this general here, but not many men in this company. And we've got this Austrian general here, who I believe is on the way to the front. If not, he should be. In fact, we could take Mileshov, go ahead and take this area under our control, or even go over here to Gilcha and try to get a kill, but I think what I'm going to do is actually move him to the front. So we're going to try and move him to the front as quickly as possible. Our Turkish forces are still having some trouble over here dealing with the British. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But they're still harassing them, and that's exactly what we wanted them to do. We wanted our Turkish forces to harass the British as much as possible. And in the case of the Russians, same thing, really. We're not exactly expecting the Turks to make a huge difference in the war right now. Later, they might, depending on the kind of reinforcements we get, the kind of allies we make. But for now, I think we're just going to play it cool. So far, we're just moving a lot of guys to the front, and I think that's the right way to go about it. Unfortunately, crossing this terrain is not easy. So it's taking our guys a long time to make it there. And as you can see, yes, I'd love to get Bulgaria on our side. I don't know if it's going to happen. If not, we're going to charge right into Bulgaria and take this area. But if Bulgaria joins us, I think we can crush Serbia instantly, or if not instantly, very, very quickly. Anyway, guys, I think that's all we're going to do for this turn. If you have any suggestions, you can always put them in the comments down below. Now we're going to end the turn and turn it over to the Allies. I'm hoping for the best here. I want to make sure I've done everything I think I should have. And I think I have. Like I said, it's winter. We're not going to go on any offensive, so we're going to stay put. Let our guys get some rebuilding going on and some new reinforcements, etc. And let's go ahead and proceed to the next turn, guys. So, the one thing about this game, I usually cut out the central part. I'm not going to do it this time. The central part is, of course, this loading phase. And it's only because I don't want to have any gaps between the two games. But yes, there is a long loading phase between both turns. I hope you guys don't mind. I think I'll just take this time to go ahead and say, guys, that I do apologize to the viewers of To End All Wars, because I know you guys are very patient, and I only do these once a week. So if you want to see them more often, really let me know in the comments down below. It means so much when people are just honest and tell me the truth, because that makes me really want to do the videos quite a lot more than I otherwise would. Here, of course, we're hoping that these lines hold, and I'm definitely hoping that we can take Antwerp. I want Belgium to be taken by us, but it's taking a lot longer than expected. We're going to have to just go ahead and basically hope that it plays out as best we can. As far as the Turks, they've been helpful, but not as helpful as I anticipated initially. Of course, we're still pretty early into the war, early February of 1915. Think about it. I mean, we've already made it almost a year into the war, well, give or take, and there's still a lot to be fought if it's going to continue as it did realistically here. So we're going to have to check that out. Probably recommend for those of you that do not want to wait, you can always just skip to maybe 11 minutes in this video or 11 minutes 30 seconds for us to get started. This is the calculations phase. Everything's being calculated, and right now is where we're about to go into the next turn. So that's definitely taking a while, and remember, we're doing the grand campaign, so I actually expect a pretty long waiting period. I'm not too upset by it. There we go, guys. It has begun, and some of our fleets have actually arrived in the Atlantic Ocean, and we're also still trying to take over these African provinces. Now, we actually managed to win a battle near Mombasa, Kenya, against the British, but we lost the next one. So I might be pulling our troops out of there very soon, get back to our colonies, and hold them for as long as we can. I'd love to break through Belgrade today. I don't see it happening. I don't think we have enough men. I don't think we have enough morale. But really what I want to see is what the Russians are going to do here on this front. They keep moving through, and we have no plans to stop them as far as I know, except getting a revolution going on in Russia. Alright, Central Power victories in Lomé, and this is in Africa, guys. So we actually managed to defeat a French colonial force. Not bad at all. Nice little victory there. A tiny one, but a victory nonetheless. Come on, men, hold it. You can see we still have a few rail lines or some land that we've taken, and that's going to cut off the rail line to the eastern part of Russia, but they have plenty of supplies coming in, the Russians do, and plenty of men coming in. If we're going to make any difference against that front, we're going to have to deal some serious damage to their casualties. And I must say, it's already day 6, and we haven't seen any attacks going on. I think the enemy is thinking exactly what we're thinking. It's snowing, it's cold, this is not a good time for an offensive. But I could be wrong, who knows? Still a lot of movement in those Russian lines. Look at all of that, guys. The attack power of these armies is massive. I guess we could try to take Festung Przemysl again. And here we go, a Turkish defeat, unfortunately, at the Battle of Hopa against the Russians. And, you know, mountainous terrain, it's snowing, it's not, or raining, I should say, in this case. It's not really a nice situation. Okay, they're taking Somiel back, or trying to take Somiel back. The Germans are, the French are. I forget who I'm fighting for sometimes. And as you can see, one of our generals actually was already going into this area to push an offensive on the Russians, at least force them to focus on him. One of our Austro-Hungarians, so I hope he takes this territory and basically shows the Russians that we can play tit for tat all day. We can't allow them to just keep taking land. We've got to take some back, even if it means a loss of lives. And I'm sure you guys understand, in World War I, that was likely a very common occurrence. Alright, now the French Escadron d'Afrique is trying to pass through. We've got some boats there. We could possibly engage. I'm assuming that's probably a troop carrier transport to bring some troops to Africa. If that's the case, engaging and destroying those troops would raise the enemy's casualties significantly, and that would, of course, in turn help us out big time. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but we'll have to see. As always, before the end of the actual game itself, before the end of this episode, I will definitely make sure to show you guys the casualty count right now. I think we're in the millions for both sides. So the war has already started off extremely bloody, maybe even more bloody than the actual First World War here at the beginning. We've had, I think, more casualties, but you historians, we've got so many grognards and historians on the channel, you guys can probably tell us when you look at the casualty count whether or not it's accurate, a little higher or a little lower. I'm really going to be curious to see your answers there. Man, so much happening on day 9. This is day 9. Maybe we should just call this episode day 9. It's really taking a long time, but I'm assuming this is the swapping of Russian generals. You can see a lot of Russians moving in Yaroslav, these areas over here, Przemyśl, basically just merging generals with new armies, and they're making their forces stronger. Look at that, 2561 with 3 different armies. Now, that's attack power, but that could be a huge, huge number. Here we go, guys, in the west. The British are attacking. The British are attacking, guys. And it is a German victory at the Battle of Depot, and an incredible German victory at that. The British were in charge of this attack. Of course, Lord Herbert Kitchener, you should know who he is, and he was also leading some French. So I'm sure the French are going to say, "You British dog, you have failed us," because he just basically lost about 40%, 35% of their army there, guys. 52,000 men. Excellent. Just amazing. And Max von Hausen once again shows himself to be a true hero of the Kaiser. But we've got to get him some reinforcements desperately. Here we go. Another French attack. This is a massive one, guys, to try and take back Somiel. And actually, sorry, this is Pouillet, and it's a German defeat. There was nothing we could do to stop 634,000 men. And as you can see, Joffre has lost nearly, well, let's just call it 18,000. We've lost 7,000, so we definitely didn't lose as many casualties as he did, but that is still a serious, serious slam in terms of land taken. Remember, World War I was certainly about casualties. Casualty counts came into effect, but this was not a time period where body counts were really the main source of victory. The main source of victory was taking locations. And if the enemy takes that location, sure, at least we took some bodies with us, but ultimately that location becomes theirs. They show that they're in control of it, and we're pushed back a bit. And for us to retake it with the trenches, the situation here, it's going to be very tough. And there we go. Once again, we got smashed here. Battle of the Asia Seas, and I'm trying to see George Patey. It almost sounds like an American name. We'll have to see. I hope the Americans haven't joined the war already. I don't think they have. They were very much in favor of us, but the way it works in this game is I think there are 2 factions that can't join the Axis, and I believe one of them is the Americans. I can't remember what the other one is, but essentially all we can do is keep them away from the war for as long as possible. There's really nothing we can do in terms of getting them to join the Central Powers. That would, of course, be amazing, though. All right, yep, Russians still moving over here. And, of course, we've got some Russian cavalry. Wow, look at that. Maybe some Cossacks on our Turkish front moving through. And here's a Portuguese ship. The Portuguese have not taken sides, but since they have a lot of colonies in Africa, getting them to join the Central Powers would be huge. Of course, that would mean Spain would also need to take sides, because if they joined the Western Entente, then we would be in some serious trouble as Portugal. Here we go. All right. Well, that was a pretty interesting fight there. I think, you know, that one battle, the Battle of Depot, that's what really explained the situation here. We don't have any more snow on the ground, by the way, guys. But now we're going to take a look at our casualties list. So this is what's happening so far. We've lost 1,129,420 men. We have 43,400 Western Entente prisoners and 1,900 Russian prisoners, I guess, on the Russian front. We don't really take prisoners. 820,895 men lost by the Western Entente. That includes the British, so you've got to keep that in mind. And the Eastern Entente has lost 443,650. We got to get these numbers up, guys, don't you think? Well, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And like I said, if you want to go ahead and take a look at, or if you want to see some more of this game, let me know in the comments down below, and we'll try to make these episodes more frequent. Thanks for watching again, guys. Take care, and glory to the fatherland.